Hello everyone. So this is our Science and Technology 2024 paper discussion. So Science and Technology, how much question come usually 3 to 4 question come, sometimes 4, sometimes 3. This year you have 3 questions, 2 of 10 markers and 1 of 15 markers. So combinedly it's about 35 marks has been asked from this particular part of the syllabus. Now, like we have spoken about internal security, here also the Science and Technology also you have a very definitive and pretty detailed syllabus. That's a very good thing. So first step of your Science and Technology preparation should be having notes for all of the words that is given in the syllabus. For example, if you look at the PYQs, we have got questions from nanotechnology, we have question from biotechnology. Last year we had question from space, the Chandrayaan 3 question. This year we have question related to international intellectual property rights. So questions are consistently picked directly from the syllabus words given. So preparing syllabus should be your first step in Science and Technology preparation. Now what you need more beyond this, you need to add a layer of current affairs to this. That means the recent developments. For this you can refer to any good decent XYZ institution compilation materials for this. So this is the whole preparation construct of Science and Technology. Technology you're preparing. What exactly is biotechnology? That you should know. What are recent developments that is happening in this field? You should at least know 3-4 developments. What are the challenges before this particular scheme? What are the potential of biotechnology? What are government schemes related to this, and what is the way forward? These are the 5-6 dimensions you should prepare likewise for each and every topic that is given in the syllabus. Now let's go to the 2024 question. Go through the first question, then we'll have the discussion. Yeah, so what is, let's read the question. What is the present context, present world scenario of intellectual property rights with respect to life materials? That's the first question. You have multiple questions here. Although India is second in the world to file patents, still only a few have been commercialized. You have a statement here. Explain the reason behind this less commercialization. So what is the, you can say different parts of this answer should be. Again, intro. What you are going to write in intro, you can write about present scenario. You can write about importance, significance of intellectual property rights, especially related to life biotechnology or life materials. Now in body, what all things should be included? Now first part is the first question, that is present scenario. What are you include in present scenario? If there is any new technology, you can recollect, you can include that. From which countries or which areas this patent is coming from? Like if I can recollect, there is lot of patent related to CRISPR-Cas9 technology, that is gene editing technology. So this is a trend, this is a scenario of today's scenario, you can write that. Now we have different technologies coming like mRNA technology. So there has been developments, patents related to that. New kind of vaccines, mRNA vaccines, DNA vaccines, these are coming up. This you can connect all of these and write what is the present scenario of IPR related to life materials. Now secondly, we have a statement, then you can go for substantiating the statement. You can write something. If you can remember some data of lower commercialization of patents in India, you can cite that. After that, you can go for reasons. What are the reasons for less commercialization? So 5 points here, 5 points here, then rest is taken care of, then you can go for conclusion. This should be the broad structure of this answer. So let's see what has been written. Introduction, evolving IPR landscape, rapid advancements in biotechnology, surge in biotechnology patents, Krishna CRISPR gene editing technology, which has created a lot of, you can say, boom in biotechnology, material, gene editing science. World scenario, TRIPS agreement, you can write CBD, you can write World Intellectual Property Organization, Budapest Treaty. This is like legal side of it, you can write it. Global trends that is happening, that is patents, which are countries. USA is the leading country, which is followed by European Union, and China has a 10% in these. Key areas of patenting, it is on nucleic acid processes, peptide based medicines, enzyme and microorganisms, highly technical. If you are from medical or such background, you can remember this. Otherwise, I have already discussed what you have to write. You have to connect it with mRNA, CRISPR-Cas9, you have to connect it with DNA, you have to connect it with personalized medicine technologies. So what technologies you see in the newspaper, you can connect it. If you are some medical persons, you can go for much nuanced answers. India's patent growth, 80,000, 83,000 patents filed, annual growth of super high growth of 24.6%, but less than 5% of these patents reach the market. Second in world in number of patent filings. Why is the lack of reason for this low commercialization? Again, we have very less infrastructure. We have just 2% of our economy is being spending on R&D, while 6-7% or more than that is spent by China and other developing countries. So there is a gap of funding, there is gap of infrastructure, there is manpower shortage, there is skill gap, there is lengthy patent process, there is lack of awareness, limited industry economic collaboration, insufficient funding, complex regulations, inadequate technology transfer. All are different aspects of why there is lesser amount of commercialization of patents. Recently, these Nobel Prizes for different physics, chemistry, all these have been, medicines, all these have been released. There are so many editorials related to why India has not produced even one science Nobel Prize winner since C.V. Raman. Won it in say 1929 or 1930 or so. After that, almost 94 years have passed and none of Indian scientists have won a science Nobel. Despite a lot of them has been nominated or recommended, but nobody could win this. And there has been a lot of editorials regarding this. So answering the second part of this question, that is reason for low commercialization, you don't need to know the specifics. You can connect it with general theme, general issues that science and technology or research field in India is facing and bring your answer accordingly. Conclusion, before going to conclusion, you can show these government schemes in a diagrammatic format. Scheme like Kapila, Startup India scheme, Atal Innovation Mission. Further steps required, you can write. Conclusion, you can write about strategic focus, addressing challenges, can boost commercialization, leveraging India's growing patent fillings for economic growth. With concerted efforts, India can transform patents into marketable products, enhancing innovation and ecosystem for global competitiveness. Like futuristic vision we are presenting, this is the way we are proceeding ahead. On that note, we'll move to the next question, go through the question, then we'll have the discussion. What is technology being employed for electronic toll collection on highways? What are its advantages and limitations? What are proposed changes that will make this process seamless? Would this transition carry any potential hazards? Question is quite simple, direct, straightforward. The problem with this question is the RFID technology, which we are speaking about here, that is not so much in news. That is We study it in detail for prelims. We are not expecting such a question, such a specific question for mains. From that perspective, this question is little bit challenging to write. Even though we know it is RFID technology, we know it is working on radio frequency ranges, we know somewhat basics of this, and students will also be aware of what is the next step. What is the next step is geo-positioning system, like GPS based tracking system for vehicles, and this toll collection will be replaced by exact kilometer how much you travel in this particular highway. Based on that, the toll collection will be modified. There are already talks for that, the GPS based systems. Trucks can already, I think, have some level of this kind of system, but it may not be expanded into this whole vehicles GPS system in the present context. So we have this fair basic of idea, but still it's quite difficult to put it on paper exactly as per the demands of the question. Now, what is our trick in hand? That is to exactly break down the question correctly. In introduction, you can write something about toll collection. Now, body. What you are writing about body? What is the technology? So you are writing about RFID technology. Second part, what are its advantages, limitations? Second, what are the proposed changes? Now, how would this transition hazards, potential hazards? But if you are writing a way forward, it is not asked. So you can show it in a diagrammatic format. Then you can go for conclusion. Now, even though the question I categorize as a challenging question, what is the good thing about this question? Because you can divide it into so many different parts. Now, the more you differentiate the different parts of a question, the more easy it becomes. From this perspective, it becomes little bit easy, because if you have a fair idea of what is RFID technology, what is the proposed changes, and if you have know correctly to differentiate different parts of the question, then this is particularly is doable question. Introduction, you can write about the technology, how it works. This can be part of the first body part also. RFID technology, passive RFID chip affixed to the vehicle's windscreen. Unique identification contains electronic product code, a 13-digit unique identifier. Automated scanning happens, cashless transactions happen. This is the basis of the technology. Advantages of RFID technology: reduce congestion, convenience, accuracy, cost effective, and environmental benefits. Limitations: technological glitches, privacy concerns, initial step cost, potential overcharging, etc. Proposed changes: here you can see the GPS version has different names and different standards, like the global navigation system, onboard units, virtual toll booths, automated number plate system, toll-free travel policy. All these are different aspects of proposed changes. What are the hazards? Privacy concerns, because we are tracking each and every movement of cars and vehicles. There is privacy hazard, there is cybersecurity threats, there is technical glitches, there is job displacement who are engaged in toll collection, all these kind of areas. Resistance to change, that is, this is a systemic change that is envisaged in throughout the country, and there is always opposition to these kind of changes being brought. Conclusion, you can write about way forward, you can write about having a balanced strategy, you can have a final thought like a careful approach can mitigate the risk, aim for seamless, efficient, secure toll collection system. So there are few takeaways for this. In most of the question, we haven't used any of the technical terms here. Much of the technological knowledge is not required for this question. You need to have a base idea of what is the current technology and what is the proposed changes. Rest, divide this answer systematically, and so that this generating points becomes much easier. On that note, we will go to the last question of this discussion series. Go through the question, then we will have the discussion. Yeah, again, a very direct question. There is no confusion, there is no challenge in understanding or interpreting the question. What are asteroids? How real is the threat of them causing extinction of life. Second part, what strategies have been deployed to prevent such catastrophe. So intro, you can make the first part of the question, that is introduction itself. So what is asteroid, you will be writing in introduction. In body, how it is the threat, how it is a threat, you will be writing. Then what are the strategies employed to, strategies have been developed for handling this threat. You can cite some of the missions. You can even give some way forward statements. Then you can conclude the answer. These both should be minimum. Major of your points should come from strategies and threat, and what exactly here you can cite some examples. In conclusion, you can write about ISRO. You need to expand its expertise into these asteroids or asteroids mitigation, asteroid threat mitigation strategies, so on and so forth. This is the basic structure of this answer. Now let's see what has been written. The first part, what is asteroid? Asteroid is a rocky, airless bodies orbiting sun. Where they are orbiting? Remnants from early solar system. They are basically orbiting between the, say, Mars and Jupiter. So this is what asteroids is about. You can write about asteroid belt, you can write about their location, their characteristics. Their size ranges from few meters to few hundreds of kilometers in diameter, composition, rocky, hardy material, location found mostly in the asteroid belt, that is between Mars and Jupiter. Notable example series, largest asteroid classified as a dwarf planet. Vesta, the second largest asteroid, Bennu. You might have seen some missions. NASA's Osiris mission has been went to Bennu and take away some material out of it. Itokawa, visited by Japan's Hayabusa spacecraft. So these are some of the famous, notable, you can say asteroids. You can cite some examples, you can give their characteristics, you can give their definitions, you can give their locations, and that will sufficiently meet the demand of first part of the question, that is what are asteroids. Now threat, historical impact, their I don't know how it is pronounced, event which happened 66 million ago, which is said to be how led to the extinction of dinosaurs. Frequency of large impacts, 1 km diameters, like it can happen every 5 lakh years on Earth. 5 km diameter asteroids hit at 20 million years. Potential consequences, it can lead to extinction, it can lead to climate change, tsunamis, all these kind of effects. Recent smaller events like Tungsuka event 1998, Chelyabinsk meteor 2013. These are some of the recent examples of extinction threats. Different strategies, you can have kinetic impact strategies, you can have gravity tractor method where you use manipulate the gravity to divert the system of asteroids. Laser ablation technique, you use high power lasers. Ion beam deflection, you use high power ion beams. Upcoming missions like ESA's Hera mission, NASA's NEO surveyor, all these are asteroid destroyer kind of missions or asteroid risk mitigation kind of missions. Conclusion, you can write about advances in planetary defense system, importance of monitoring, future preparedness. Final thought you can give. Also you can cite about ISRO, different steps that ISRO should take on this regard. So that will put an end to the science and technology discussion. Again, the key takeaway of all this discussion should be how you should prepare science and technology and how you should learn to break the answer. Like how sufficiently demonstrated breaking the answer is the key to write good answers. So focus on this aspect and align your preparation accordingly. That's all for now. All the best.